How's it going, everyone? And welcome back to another week of Bleeding Blue with GSU here on Atlanta Sports Unlimited. I'm Christian Crittenden, here with you, like I am every week, bringing you the best and latest coverage there is of Georgia State athletics. So the Georgia State football team kicked off their season last week, and to say it didn't go as planned or expected would be a huge understatement. All right, the Panthers, they suffered a beatdown at the hands of the Army Black Knights, 43-10, and a game that Army controlled from start to finish. They ran for 258 yards on the ground. They had several touchdowns. They even had a passing touchdown, and then threw the ball a handful of times. Not a good performance for Georgia State, especially coming off last year's season, and what was a good year for the Panthers. Now, it's only one game, season's not over with, but it's not an effort that you want to see, especially start up the season with all the hype and expectation coming in. Now, head coach Sean Elliott, he was not happy with the team's performance, but he said he's not going to point fingers, and he didn't do a good job of preparing his team, and it starts with him. He said going forward this week, it's going to be a different story.
How about play our ass off? How about go out there and fight? How about go out there and get in a fist fight, in a battle, and get dirty, and play with some doggone enthusiasm, play with some effort, play with some crispness, and play with some doggone mindsets of what we're fixing to get into. And just because it looks like we're good on paper has no bearing on what we're going to put out on the field. We're going to throw that paper away and we're going to start from scratch. So,
simply put, the Panthers were not good last week, okay? They were sloppy on offense. They couldn't really get anything going. Defensively, they couldn't stop Army. They had several turnovers on offense, and they weren't ready to go. And like Coach Elliott said before, it starts with him. He's going to fix it. He knows how to fix it. He's going to get it right. Now, this week, they have an even tougher test, and they have North Carolina. It's in Chapel Hill this week, so they're going to be on the road. It's a night game, so probably going to be juiced up. Fans are going to be ready and excited to have their first home game. And North Carolina lost last week to Virginia Tech and Blacksburg, 17-10. So they're going to be laser focused this week because they don't want to lose again. They don't want to start 1-2. They especially don't want to lose to Georgia State, a group of 5 school, as they would say. Heisman hopeful Sam Howell, he did not have a great performance last week. He only had 208 yards. He had a touchdown. He had 3 interceptions. So he's going to be looking to rebound and make a statement. So that Panthers secondary, they better be ready because they're going to get tested early and often. So for Georgia State this week, they need to treat this as a must-win game. Now, I know if they lose, the season's not over. I know they're not expected to win. They're a major underdog. I think Vegas has them like a 25.5-point underdog, depending on which sports book you look at. But they need to treat it as a must-win game for several reasons. Number one, you don't want to get in the hole too early during the season. Losing last week was huge, especially when you were favored to win and you probably thought you were going to win that game, which may be a reason why you lost. But that's at least one win you have. And this schedule's a gauntlet. You lose this week, you're going to be 0-2 with 3 more tough games to follow before it gets easier. And it doesn't get much easier after that. But Charlotte's no joke next week. That could be 0-3. And then you got Auburn and App State. That could be 0-5. So you don't want to fall in the hole too early, especially after last season. You want to kind of keep building momentum and stacking wins as a program. So that's number one. Number two, you got to get that memory of last week out of the picture. You don't want anyone thinking that's the program that you are, which it's not. And it could just be one bad game. But beating North Carolina this week would kind of erase that performance. A lot of people will forget about it because you just beat a ranked team. Again, North Carolina's ranked 24th in this week's AP Top 25 poll. And lastly, if your program wants to take the next step, last week can't happen for sure. But when you have these games against Power 5 opponents, and North Carolina, they're a solid team, but they're not great. It's not like you're playing a top 10 team or you're not playing Alabama. These are games that you want to aim to win. If you want to be a respected program, you look at other group of 5 schools that have built their version of, they're not like major powerhouses like Alabama, obviously, but they build respectable programs, and when people see them, like Cincinnati, for instance. You see Cincinnati, Cincinnati, they're a good team. You want that to be Georgia State. And to get to that level, you got to win games like this. At the very least, be competitive. I know the program's only been around 12 years, but if you want to get to that next step, Saturday's a prime opportunity to get there and stack another Power 5 win. You beat Tennessee a few years ago. That's one. Now, if you get North Carolina, a team that's ranked, that's another one. It's another feather in your cap. You got Auburn in a few weeks. That's going to be a lot tougher. But to get to the next step, these are games you got to win. At least be competitive. At least in the third or fourth quarter, have North Carolina feeling like there's a good chance they can lose the game. Have them sweating a bit. That's when you know your program is kind of taking that next step to the next level. Now, for Georgia State this weekend, they're facing an uphill battle, going on the road at Chapel Hill, facing a team that lost last week. It's not going to be easy, but with the Panthers even on the field, they may just have a chance at pulling off the victory. Now, make sure you subscribe. We're going to watch this video on YouTube, Atlanta Sports Unlimited. Be sure to follow us on social media, Facebook and Twitter, to get all the latest updates and see all our great content when it comes out.